Assalamu alaikum everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the Arabic with Sam channel. I know that I've been really busy over on the Sam Somalia channel, so we haven't been that active over here. But we are back, and we're going to be back for at least another 2 months because we are sponsored by Arabic Workshop now. Arabic Workshop are our sponsors on this channel. If you haven't heard of them, please go over to arabicworkshop.com. They are a really, really amazing and really well funded listening library for the Arabic language. You can go over there and they've got this really nice setup where it's kind of like a Netflix style, and you can kind of bolt on this listening library. Everything's in Fusha and it maps perfectly to whatever Arabic language course you're on right now. At the moment I'm working with them with the Arabic in 60 Steps program, so if you're a student on the Arabic in 60 Steps program, then you can kind of bolt on this whole listening library with literally thousands of words in it onto whatever course you're doing, but obviously, especially the Arabic in 60 Steps program. If you're not on the Arabic in 60 Steps program, you should be on the Arabic in 60 Steps program. And if you want any proof that the Arabic 60 Steps program is pretty good, then I do have a free course that you can do. And where should you go for your free courses? You should go to freearabiccourse.com, because I own that now, and there's a little free course that I'll give to you guys, inshallah, if you want to take part in that. So what on earth are we doing together today? I have a very close brother of mine. May Allah bless his brother. Oh, assalamu alaikum. It's awkward when I kind of introduce you, and then. But this is brother Shahin-ur Rahman. Obviously, a lot of you will have heard of him before, because he was on episode 11. Was it 11? I don't know why. I forget if it was 11 or 14.
I think it would be 11.
11, yeah.
14 sounds a bit too high.
Yeah. Well, I remember you came to my house, so. To do that. So we have like an hour-long episode about brother Shahin-ur Rahman, about his work at Al-Rahma. It's alrahma.co.uk, right?
Yeah.
The website. And also his work with Safar Publications as well. But in this particular video, I really wanted brother Shahin-ur Rahman to teach us a little bit of Arabic poetry. And if I can, I'll kind of try to offer little bits of my insight in there, here and there. What else do I want to say about that? I think that's about it. We can just get stuck in. So, so this is a verse of poetry, which the brother said to me when I was kind of trying to flex my muscles a bit and say that I'm the best at football in our football group. Because here in Northampton we have a group of brothers who play football every Saturday, but I haven't been there for about 3 months. When was the last time you went?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. While, But we have a group of brothers, and of course as soon as I was added into the WhatsApp group, I was like, please welcome the best at football in the world. And I ended up being stuck in goal. That's what they normally do, they stick the fat kid in goal, don't they? But that's what happened with me. And unfortunately I'm a mean goalkeeper, so I've stayed there now. So whenever I play I'm in goal. That's true, isn't it, Asher?
Bloody brilliant goalkeeper.
Bloody brilliant goalkeeper, you heard it from Asher himself. So anyway, let's get into it, inshallah. So what is this little, is it a shutter of poetry?
It's more of a bait.
Okay. So it's a full bait of poetry. Cool. So what is it for a start? I'll have it written up on the bottom of the screen, so they can see it. So what is it?
It'd be وسوف ترى إذا انكشف الغبار أفرس تحت رجلك أم حمار.
Okay. So already I hear a few words now, but maybe we'll do like a kind of a word for word breakdown, because I kind of started making a point at the beginning where like you kind of said that to me when I was saying how good I was at football, and the kind of a loose kind of meaning of it, kind of the feeling of it is we'll see if you're a man or a mouse. It's kind of like that. We'll see, right? It's kind of like that. So yeah, let's do like a word for word breakdown, right? So how does it begin? What's that first word?
If you have any Urdu speakers, following this channel or something, a similar kind of idiom that we'll have in Urdu is dood ka dood, pani ka pani.
Okay.
So that's a very similar thing where
Pani's water, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's when you have diluted milk, where you have milk and they've put some water in it just to con the people. So milk is milk and water is water, as in we'll split them apart, make it clear as day. So yeah, this particular bait that we're doing, وَسَوْفَ تَرَى, should we translate the whole thing?
Well, we'll do it line by line. I remember you kind of mentioning to me that you weren't quite sure if it was wasaufa or fasaufa.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Really, like the meaning, especially for kind of the students on my channel. That is really there's a very slight difference in that. So usually you will see really what it means. The tara is the you see, and the saufa is the you.
Future.
Is there any difference between that and satara?
Yeah, so satara would be more immediate.
Okay.
Yeah, not necessarily immediate, but relatively. And saufa is more in the future.
Interesting.
In comparison to satara. So satara you generally say next or now. It's going to happen, or imminently it's going to happen. And saufa you'll see in the near future. It's kind of the difference between fa and thumma as well. It's similar kind of concept there.
Do you know if there's in some of the different ways of reciting the Quran? Do you know if sometimes wa and fa are ever?
I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just because like typically in my memorization of the Quran, I listen a lot, and I don't know if just in my ear, sometimes I end up starting ayat with wa and fa, and people correct me and stuff often, but I don't know if they are both sometimes legit.
So, sometimes they are, yeah, but obviously you'll need to have different types of books to figure that.
It's not willy nilly. You can't just mix and match.
There's a riwayah
exactly.
involved, yeah.
Cool. So this is how it starts, right? So وَسَوْفَ تَرَى. So you will see. What's the next bit?
إذا انكشف الغبار.
Okay.
So that means when the dust, in English it'll say when the dust settles, but it means when the dust will reveal itself. When in kashafa it'll be revealed and it'll be clear, you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
So you will see when the dust settles.
Okay. So what does in kashafa really?
In kashafa means to expose.
Okay.
To be revealed.
Is there another verb just kashafa?
Yeah. So kashafa means to open something or reveal something.
Okay.
So
why is I've met someone before with the name Kashif.
Kashif, yeah.
So like, what does that name mean then? Like,
It'll mean discoverer or somebody who reveals something else and opens something or has some type of discovery.
Okay. So then kashafa, and then what was that? What was the last one? Al-ghubaru. Okay.
Yeah, so the ghubar is dust particles.
What's the difference between that and turab?
Turab would be I was just going to explain in Bangla, but I'm not going to do that. Turab would be actual dust that you'll find on the floor, like when you're walking on the sand or something. Ghubar is more like when there's dust on your books or on your shelf or something.
Okay.
And then that all just has a cloudy kind of effect.
Okay.
So in this kind of context, in the context of this piece of poetry, what would happen is, suppose you're on a horse and you're riding in the sand or something, and when the horse jerks, it creates a cloud of dust.
Yeah, so that would be ghubar.
Yeah, so that would be the ghubar here.
Okay.
So what the verse is saying, we will see when the dust settles, then we'll see is under you afarasun tahta rijlika am himaru. Is there a horse under your feet or under your legs, or is there a donkey under your legs?
So it's the first word farasun.
Yeah, afarasun. It's a question.
Okay, afarasun.
Yeah. Is it a horse tahta rijlika below your feet, under your legs? Am himaru, or a donkey.
Okay.
So you say, horses were considered more prestigious to ride, and donkeys were just get by. It's kind of
they're used for carrying. They're not usually. People don't normally ride them. Do you know what I mean? Like
they can, but it's more of a teenagers thing, Or poor people would be riding donkeys. So it doesn't really have that much of a class as you could consider it as somebody's driving a micro or something compared to someone who's driving a Beamer or a Mercedes or something like that.
Yeah.
So once the dust settles, then we'll see. Are you
riding a horse or a donkey?
Yeah.
That's funny. Why does it use the word faras? Like how is faras different to hisan or?
I'm not really too sure, to be honest, but hisan seems, from my exposure anyway, hisan seems a lot more modern. It seems a lot more of a contemporary usage. In the classical text, you don't really find hisan that much. You find more so faras and you find khayl.
Okay.
So khayl and faras. So I'm not sure what the exact difference would be, because of course we're not living around the horses anymore.
No, sure.
But there will definitely be some kind of a nuance.
Is there a relationship between like the word for Persia, the Persians, and the word for the horse?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Faris,
I mean, yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Because you also get firasa as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Firasa, which what's the English word for that?
I wondered if it was to do with like chivalry.
Firasa is chivalry is more muru'ah.
Yeah.
Firasa is more it's not foresightedness. A lot of people use it as foresightedness, which is actually more the Urdu word firasat. Firasa is more, when you see someone's face kind of thing, and you can read their face, and you could figure something out. Something like that. Like you see someone's face and you think, okay, there's something wrong. Is
that a term that people would use if they try to like make a prediction from the apparent?
Well, prediction in the Arab or Islamic context will have a bit of a negative connotation. But for us, it's more of a good thing. It's quite noble.
You kind of you have insight on something.
Yeah, insight. I think that'll be a better word.
That's perhaps better. So it's afarasan. Why rather than hal?
Hal. Okay, now this is a big question. What's the difference between and hal? Yeah, hal. A lot of people don't actually answer this. They just think it's synonymous. And some of the textbooks that you'll find, quite popularly used textbooks, they don't actually differentiate between the two. But there is a big difference. Now, hal you'll use if it's a yes or no question. Yeah. For example, هل هذا فرس? Or هل هذا حمار? That's a yes or no question. Whereas if it's, you wouldn't say أهذا حمار, yeah. But you could say something like حمار هذا. So what that would mean is this a donkey or is it something else?
Yeah.
So that's what it implies. So it's not a yes or no question, it's what's the alternative. So generally in those things you wouldn't find the mubtada first and the khabar later, which is generally the case with hal. So you'll find hal هذا حمار. Whereas with it's not what this is, that's it's not the mubtada that's the objective here, it's the khabar itself. So you'll say حمار هذا something else. So you wouldn't say aw either, you'll say because it's a question.
Okay.
So you'll find even in the Quran you find similar things like that. Is used in this way.
You know, is it ever...
أَأَنْتُمْ أَعْلَمُ أَمِ اللَّهِ, for example.
Okay.
Are you more knowledgeable or is Allah more knowledgeable?
So that's
it's not a yes or no question, is it?
That's kind of something that I've noticed, in that sometimes when you use there's often kind of an understanding of what the answer is going to be already anyway. Like that's not always the way that is used, but that's something that I've noticed a lot. Like, you know, many times in the Quran, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ. You know, like the answer's kind of known already. Do you know what I mean? And in this case as well, with this bait of poetry as well, that like the person saying it is kind of insinuating that he knows you're riding a donkey. Do you know what I mean? It's saying he knows that I know when the dust settles, we're going to see if you're riding a donkey or a horse,
so
right?
Are you riding something that's honourable, or are you riding something that's dishonourable? In that kind of thing. So it's like, you know, when people on social media they upload photos of themselves doing fancy rich man things, but really, you know, they're either using green screen like you do in your house, or
exactly,
or they're, you know, they're blagging their way through life. So this person who's, you know, you've got a lot of cloud and you think, I'm sitting this, you know, with my chest up in front of a horse and things, and okay, when the dust settles, then we'll see are you legit or not. You know, in a more informal context, you'll say, is that a donkey that you're riding? Sorry, is it a horse you're riding, or is it a donkey that you're riding? Because if it's a donkey, then don't come
acting like you're riding a horse. So that's the beginning of that second part then. So afarasun, then what's next?
تحت رجلك.
Okay,
So تحت means beneath.
Yep.
رجلك is your leg.
Is there any relationship between the word rijl and rajulun?
I would assume so.
That's interesting.
But I've not come across anything.
I haven't read anything official. Like I'm just saying something that I've heard people mention. It's a theory that might be out there that actually the word rajulun, perhaps in the past, was more about somebody who stands on their own 2 feet.
Yeah.
Right. And it could actually be used for women. Like there could actually have been an application of that, because it's not the same as, it's not from the word for male and female. Like it's not from that, and it's not even grammatic.
It's man in itself, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's not even inherently opposite to like to woman.
Yeah, and you find this in the Quran as well. You know, the plural of rajul is usually rijal. Well, pretty much always is rijal. Yeah. So every time you hear rijal, you'd assume it's always going to be the plural of man. That's not always the case. In the Quran, we find وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ فَرِجَالًا أَوْ رُكْبَانًا. So if you are fearful, فَرِجَالًا أَوْ رُكْبَانًا. So it doesn't mean then come as men or come as riders. It means come on foot or come riding on a conveyance. So rijalan here means come on foot.
That's really interesting.
So here you'd think, you know, rijalan come as men. It's like, how are you going to come as a man if you're not a man? Yeah, but that's not what it means here. It means come on foot. So
that's interesting.
There could be some kind of link, and I'm sure there would be if you look at traditional ancient sources and things. But a lot of people generally wouldn't be so interested.
There is
read Tha'labi or someone, and you'll probably find out.
Probably, yeah. No, I just wanted to ask about that, because that is interesting though. Like that there is kind of evidence to support that it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of bring it to the attention of the audience, just bring it to discussion. There's an ayah, I believe it's in Surah Al-Ahzab, I think, about a man not having 2 hearts in his torso, or in his body, right? Like, and that is often looked at by us as something beautiful. That like the man can't, but the woman can if she has a baby in her torso, right? So like, I don't know. That's just something else I wanted to bring into.
The thing with that ayah is a lot of people have taken it down this route, and while it's true that, you know, if you want to get technical and pedantic about it, then there is a very subtle nuance in the Quran in this ayah. من قلبين في جوفه.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So what's the ما جعل الله لرجل من قلبين في جوفه. Allah has not created for any man 2 hearts in his chest.
Yeah.
Now, the ayah is not talking about men and women.
Is the jawf specifically a chest?
Jawf is actually anything that's hollow, anything
Okay.
that has a hole inside.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you know your mouth, the inside of your mouth, you call that the jawf as well because it's an empty. It's
Hence
a hollow place.
al-af'al al-ajwaf.
Ajwaf,
Yeah, like hollow verbs.
Al-ajwaf,
Yeah.
So you say hollow in English,
Yeah,
but
yeah. That's
we'll
interesting.
say ajwaf. So I remember when you said to me hollow verbs, I'm like, what on earth is
What
that?
if it's that?
We didn't come from a university orientalist background of
Yeah.
learning Arabic. We learned it from traditional way. So we called it مثال أجوف الناقص. So أجوف means there's a jawf in there, there's a gap in there, there's a حرف علة in there, like قال. Yeah.
Got it.
What was my point with this?
So you were saying that
Jawf, yeah.
so some people kind of take it down that route.
Jawf, yeah.
And then
But the context of the ayah is something else. It's like, look, don't think somebody's more braver than they really are. Don't think they've got more courage than they really do. Don't think they're, don't overestimate, just because somebody seems very influential or they might threaten you. Don't feel so threatened by them. They're just a human being. That's what it really means.
Yeah.
But then obviously that nuance is there. But what's unfortunately happened, I think it's unfortunate, is that fact of that little nuance within the Muslim public has actually taken over the whole point of the
more
ayah.
common than the actual original point, whereas really the actual point should be the main thing, and then we just kind of have like a little thing to ponder over. Afterwards, that's secondary. Yeah,
So that's more reflections.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
The reflection of and that reflection, the primary reflection of the Quran should be about the context and the point of it, the message of it. And these other things are just there to appreciate the language of it even further. But then those things shouldn't dominate the actual message of the Quran. Otherwise, it just, is the Quran some kind of a joke to us? So we need to be careful about keeping things in its place. There is a place for that, don't get me wrong. But of course we have to, there should be a hierarchy. There should be a hierarchy of where we keep our...
So to come back to the bait, inshallah. So we have, is it تحت رجلك?
تحت رجلك,
Okay.
yeah.
تحت رجلك.
Means or. Yeah, and in Arabic you have two words. You have and you have aw. And there are other such words as well. But aw just means or, and is generally when there's a question. So is it this or that? So that's a question here. So when there's an istifham involved, that's when you'll say
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So that's why it's in this case.
سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون.
Yeah.
So it's the same for them. No, well, okay.
If you warn them or you do not warn them, like it's not really a question.
In English, it's not, but in Arabic, it is.
So my understanding of is if there's just kind of two options. Like sometimes you might use oh, if there might be lots of different things. You might be saying you could eat this or that or this or that at a restaurant or something. But you might say if they're just kind of
only two.
Yeah, only two. That's my understanding of it.
It's generally when there's a question involved linguistically. Okay. So that example I gave was سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم. In Arabic, it is a question because أأنذرتهم.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah.
Do you warn them? Do you not warn them? It doesn't really matter. Yeah. They're not going to believe. That's what the سواء means. So in Arabic, that is a question. So that's probably not the best example to use here. But here, the bait is a pretty good one. أفرس تحت رجلك أم حمار? Is there a donkey? Is there a horse under your feet, or is it a donkey?
Okay. So what is the use of the donkey? Is it al-himaru or himaru?
Himaru.
Himaru.
Yeah. So because of the question, then himaru. Yeah.
Why just himaru? If there's no alif and lam, why is it just one dhamma?
Because it's in the end of a poem. The end of a poem, you'll have harf al-rawi. It's called harf al-rawi is basically in English what you call a rhyme. Yeah. So that harf al-rawi will be the last letter, and there will be a qafiyah at the end of it. The qafiyah here is of a waw. So it'll be a dhamma or it'll have a waw at the end. So it'll always end in a oo, even it's stretched. So it's not just himaru and it's not himar. A lot of people, when they read poetry, they just stop at the end. You don't, in most poetry, you don't do that. In some poems you do, when that's the point of it. But here, you'll end up on himaru. So,
okay. Then what is the difference between just like the vowel that's on the end and the qafiyah? Like is the qafiyah just the rhyming letter that's on the end?
The rhyming letter is called the harf al-rawi, and the qafiyah is about this will get technically into ilm al-arud and ilm al-qawafi and things, but yeah, the qafiyah is generally is a mutadarik, is a mutawatir, those types of things. Like is there a sukoon before it, like himaru, the alif is technically is sakina, or is it something like kamilu, where there's a haraka before it and then something else. That's what a qafiya means.
But is it grammatically correct to just have himaru, or is it just poetic license?
It's poetic license.
Yeah,
it's poetic license. So you will find that in the Quran actually. So in prose, in literature, you will find that where sabila, I think it's sabila in Surah Al-Ahzab or Surah Al-Saba, around that part. Khalila, I think Khalila is there as well. No, I think it's sabila. The way there's an alif lam, but it ends with an alif as well.
Okay.
So it's stretched. So that happens in the Quran, obviously to keep the rhyme going. And in poetry, you do that all the time. But you wouldn't speak like that. If you were to ask, if you were to use that in a normal sentence, you say "Faras تحت رجلك محمار." But you wouldn't, because it's become a poem, and we only use that in the form of poetry. You will say that. You will say that with the himaru. It's like the other one. You might hear in the Arab world, even today, it's still used today. ما هكذا تورد الإبل. ما هكذا تورد الإبل. Yeah. Which that's not how what's ibil? Camels, yeah, that's not how camels are pushed forward.
Okay.
Or how you bring a camel to come drink water. That's not how you do it. So there's a way to go about doing something basically. Right. And this method, this idiom, is actually from ancient Jahili poetry.
Okay.
Where it's ما هكذا تورد يا سعد الإبل. So ya Sa'd is the person involved. So ما هكذا تورد يا سعد الإبل. And that just became a thing.
Yeah.
So you'll carry on using these things because it came from there. So in this particular one, أفرس تحت رجلك أم حمار, you will carry on doing that even if you're using in normal speech.
Right.
Because of the fact that you're quoting a poet.
Do we know where this bait of poetry comes from?
Unfortunately not. So I was looking online. I was trying to find some kind of source for it. Yeah. I didn't bother looking into the books because the books that I have are generally diwans of certain poets. I do have Imam Sibawayh's Al-Kitab, which is, funny enough, like nobody has that. Even though everyone talks about it, everyone knows about it, but you don't have that. Recently I've got it, but I'm not going to go through 5 volumes of books just to find it.
Where did you get hold of that?
I've got it from Zakaria Books actually, so it's an online website.
Right, okay. Because I hadn't seen that anywhere in the UK. I saw it in Palestine, in bookshops in Palestine.
Okay.
Nowhere in the
I
UK.
had never seen it in my life actually. And you find Nahwu books quoting or talking about it. You'll find a lot of ancient jokes about it and things, where somebody would study the whole 5 volumes of Kitab Sibawayh and they go, ما فهمت منه حرفا. I didn't understand a single word from it. So you find these types of jokes going around. But we finally got the book. So it's about 60 odd pounds or something. I forgot how much it was. But we thought, no, this is a primary, the very ever first ever book written on Nahwu by the great Imam Sibawayh. Funny enough, the person who came out with these bahrs in poetry, not came up with them, they obviously existed, but who documented them was Imam Khalil bin Ahmed al-Farahidi al-Basri, rahimahullah. He was the teacher of Imam Sibawayh.
Well, when you mentioned Sibawayh, I thought, well, I heard of Khalil ibn Ahmed, who was supposedly before.
Their teacher and student. Student and teacher. Anyway, so I didn't resort to his book or anything. I didn't really have time for all of that. But I don't think it's an ancient poem, is part of a qasid or anything like that.
Really, for this letter, I don't think it even matters. I more just wanted to share with my audience us just talking about a bit of poetry. Really, like, this is really just an excuse for me to sit with you for a little while, really. I thought if I do this, I can tell my wife I'm working and I can just sit with you for a little while. So it's worked out very nicely, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for coming on the Arabic with Sam channel. It's an absolute honour to have you, as always.
Once again,
to have you on the channel.
I think we last came last year, actually. It's been a whole year, hasn't it?
Subhanallah.
So then,
it must have been a very, very long time, because I remember I had you as a guest on the Arabic with Sam podcast when I'd only been living in Northampton for maybe a couple of months or something.
Yeah.
So that is it, bro. I'll do a little outro and then I'll let you get on with the rest of your day, inshallah. So everybody, jazakallah khair for watching. If you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you did, please don't forget to like and share it. And don't forget to hit that little bell as well so you're in touch with us on the channel and you get updates on all the stuff that we're publishing all week long, inshallah. Just before I go, please don't forget that I have a link to ArabicWorkshop.com in my description below. Then please use that. You can go over there and you can actually start for free today. See you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.